So I'm Jose. I'm here at New York City Comic Con, and I'm here with Vita and Danny, and they are the creative team behind Quarter Killer. That's a cyberpunk, hip-hop inspired comic that follows Quentin Kidd, and he's a cyber hacker who gets paid with quarters. So I got to know, how did you come up with the main characters and like the idea for the show?
Do you want to start it off?
So we met almost exactly 10 years ago at Forbidden Planet down in Union Square in New York, and pretty much hit it off immediately. We just started riffing ideas to keep ourselves awake during shifts, honestly.
Retails were rough. So, you have to do something to not go completely bonkers. And also, working in a comic book shop, which is what Forbidden Planet is not an adult shop. Weird phone calls all the time. You talk about story all the time. Everyone that works at a comic book shop is into story.
So it was literally just the idea of what if there was this character who, saved the day, but you paid them in quarters so that they could use the pinball machine and call their mama. It was literally the quarters to call their mama was the first
line.
That is awesome.
And it just literally, so it was literally just Quarter Killer. That was the concept. And then just riffing off of, I think, putting in inventory and pulling characters together from this book over here that we just put in and this merchandise that we just got. Well, what if this and what if this? And a surprising amount of those characters stayed in the book.
Actually, it's kind of wild. We also wanted to all comics are referential. That's what language is like too. But we really wanted to kind of highlight and kind of write love letters to a lot of the genre stuff that we like. So it's a Robin Hood of the Hood type of story. The first issue, anyone that has ever read Lone Wolf and Cub will kind of get that vibe from it. Clearly, we've made it our own. Quarter Killer, Quentin Kidd, they're a non-binary cyber hacker kind of character, and then we set up the rest of the team. We both are very big leverage fans, and so we're all right, and D&D and that kind of stuff. And so it's what does a party need?
Party.
Exactly. So it's all right, we got the hacker, and now we need this person and that person. So
that is awesome. So you two met at a comic book shop then.
Yep.
If you weren't working in comics today or at a comic book shop, what would you be doing?
Okay, I think I have to eliminate both of us saying prose writer as an option because I genuinely think that would probably be our both second choice since we both do a little bit of prose. But I actually went to school for forensic psychology. I wanted to specifically work on preventing burnout in police organizations, so that probably would have been where I was.
Awesome.
And I went to school for both philosophy and psychology, but I probably would have pursued a PhD in philosophy, specifically the philosophy of science. I'm really interested in kind of the problem of underdetermination in the sciences, which is basically, very shortly, we take all these things to be foundational, but what does that actually mean, and is there a bias in what we are taking as foundational?
That is super cool.
We just want to get paid for reading a lot, basically.
Super into reading.
It worked. It worked out. So we're at Comic-Con. I got to know, what's your favorite Comic-Con memory? It doesn't have to be New York City, but favorite Comic-Con memory.
I come to cons clearly to work. This is a work thing. I write it off on my taxes. But also I come to cons to see my peers. This is a time where we all kind of live these very separate lives, and we sit in our rooms even if we live in the same city and kind of type or draw. And so it's really nice to get out and go, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you, or whatever. And so I think it's my favorite con memory. I think Emerald City Comic-Con, I don't know, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was San Diego. I was hanging out with Liana Kangas, who is a very good friend of mine and an incredible artist. And I was like, I'm kidnapping you for the whole week. And so we basically did everything together for the whole con. And I was like, this is my favorite thing ever. And we almost saw someone die, which was not the good part. But they were okay, which was the good part.
That is the good part.
So since you stole the very nice and sweet, Friends answer, which I could have done, whatever. I'm going to say WonderCon earlier this year. Vita and I were actually walking the floor to get really nifty, nerdy jackets, and we're mid-conversation, and I turn, and I'm going to save who it was that I saw till the end of this, and I couldn't speak, so I'm just hitting V, and I'm like, she's right over there, and V is getting really angry at me because I'm hitting them and not forming real words. And they're like, who, what? And so I finally turn, and I just hear, because it's Nichelle Nichols is just right there.
I'm actually legitimately tearing up. I'm tearing up right now.
And so like we weren't aware that she was just going to be right there at a table, and so like we then do a mad dash to like back to Artist Alley to get like cash from a friend, and so like we can like get like picture and everything.
Yeah.
And she touched my hand, and it was amazing.
She kept reaching over and being like, no, do this, because I'm a huge Trek person. Trek was in my household from the jump, and so like I got it. Like Spock's my favorite, like my mom's favorite character, and so is Uhura. So I'm very cool with my mom right now. But so like Danny was like, oh, like wait, and she kept going.
Literally forcibly
do
did
it.
This
82-year-old woman.
I put Vita on the spot at the moment and was literally just like explaining how much of what Vita does as a writer is like due to having had Uhura on screen, and definitely like probably one of my all-time favorite convention moments.
Why are you doing this to me right now? We are on camera.
That's
Because
great,
you
though.
always do it to me.
Those are like the memories that you live for
Yeah.
at Comic Cons, though. That's
Ooh,
awesome. That's so
absolutely.
cool to hear. All right, so before we go, we're in New York City. You two are from New York City. I gotta know, where can I go to get the best piece of pizza?
See, we talked about this off air, and I'm going to tell you, anywhere here is better than anywhere else. But we'll tell you how to get other really good New York food. So, you want to take the uptown? I'll take the downtown.
So best bagel in the city is probably Tal's Bagel on the Upper East Side. It's about like 86, between 81st and 86. Their bagels are literally so good that me and my wife come down from the Bronx to have a bagel date so that we can go down, have bagels, and like bring a dozen back home. Like,
You just sold
like
me on
no,
bagels.
like no joke. They are so good. They make them fresh every day.
And you can get a pizza bagel.
Yes.
If you don't want to
Cool.
go all the way uptown, which it's worth it, Russ and Daughters downtown in the Lower East Side is an incredible bagel. So that's a good one. Also, if you're downtown in the Lower East Side, hit Avenue C, somewhere between 6th and 4th Street in there. There is a Puerto Rican restaurant, bring cash because I think it's cash only, called Casa Adela, I think. And that is the most banging Puerto Rican food that you will have not in your grandma's kitchen.
Well, there you have it, folks. Good food, good comics with the creative team behind Quarter Killer, which you can read right now on comiXology Unlimited, Kindle Unlimited, or Prime Reading. Thank you.